Okay, so this is using a combination of range selectors and wiggly selectors to create kind of a composite animation. And I'm going to first of all change or create an animator based on scale, and it's going to scale up around its center there, so the anchor points have already been set to the center through the grouping alignment. And I'm going to change my selector to only cover that second word, and change the scale value within there so it's nice and big, and I'll leave it static for the moment. I could change the offset value and move it across, but I'm just going to leave it as it is for the minute. Now I'm going to try and add a rotation in here, and I'm going to get it to grow and also kind of shake in a kind of a rotate in a random fashion around the center there as well. So what I'll do is I'll add the wiggly selector, and the wiggly selector is now also controlling the scale. So even if I went in here and added a property of rotation, it's going to create an effect, and the effect is going to be that the scale is going to oscillate up and down, but also the rotation. So if I want the scale to just remain static and only be affected by the range selector, and for the rotation to be adjusted by the wiggly selector, then I need to create a second animator. So I'll deselect any animators that I currently have, go up to Animate, Rotation, and I'll delete that range selector because it's not going to be doing anything for me. I'll adjust the rotation, add a wiggly selector so that it kind of wiggles back and forwards over time. Now I need to make sure that only what happened within the initial range selector here is going to be affecting the wiggling rotation. So same as before, I'm going to duplicate that range selector, bring it down into animator 2, make sure it's above the wiggly selector, and that the wiggly selector is set to intersect. Okay, so now what I have is again a composite animation that required multiple animators, and the reason being that when you add a wiggly selector to the scale property, then it's going to naturally scale that or wiggle that scale as well. So when you want the rotation to happen separately, then you need to create a separate animator, and I can go in now and play around with that. Maybe give it a bit of motion blur. Okay.